My name is Lucas Bradbury, founder and CEO of ProjectPollo, America's first vegan chicken fast food chain. Sharks, I'm here to protest. We demand change. And when it comes to quick serve restaurants, there's only two options available. One, something that's affordable, made from very questionable meat-based product, or two, something that costs a wing and a leg that's on the healthier side. And as Americans, we all deserve affordable access to plant-based foods. And that's why we created Project Pollo, real delicious food made from real plants. Now, our original project is a hand-breaded crispy chicken patty that's made from 100% soy, and it's truly to die for. But no animals had to die for it to be this good. Now, we didn't just stop there. We also have burgers, wraps, salads, shakes, and oh yeah, my personal favorite, buffalo mac and cheese. And take a look at that. And Sharks, our mission was simple. We wanted everyone, regardless of their income, to be able to afford these options. After all, the future of mass consumption is plant-based. Now, Sharks, it's time that we demand better. It's time that we free the chickens. It's time that we start putting people over the profits and start doing pollo with a purpose. And that's why I'm here today, embrace yourself, Sharks, seeking $2.5 million in exchange for 5% of my company.
Oh, that is not a reaction that usually is here. Wow. Wow. All right. It looks great. I definitely want to try. I mean, I'm not, I don't think I've ever really tried plant-based food. Usually I'll just eat the vegetables, but that is, it's a pretty rich, valuation there. Anyway, with that aside, it looks like we're getting into a franchise here. That's if I'm not mistaken, that's kind of what the lay of the land looks like. And I mean, I'm not like crazy about the name. The name's all right. The logo's cool. I like the logo, but the name not as much of a fan of that. But wow, I hope that they already have a whole lot of people signed up for what is, I hope, is a franchise. And that hopefully we can get this franchise in the Philadelphia area so we can go and try it out. I'm going to check out their website and social media at the end, so make sure you stick around for that.
$50 million
valuation. $50 million.
I'd like the opportunity for all to try the product I've made for you guys today. So in front of you, the half sandwich is going to be our deluxe chicken sandwich. You have our chicken nuggets on there, served alongside of our fries, and then, of course, the buffalo mac and cheese sitting there. Happy to answer questions for you guys, but please enjoy.
Really good.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Wow.
Coming from a true chef, that's amazing.
Yeah, Chef Wonderful Alexa. I've tried a lot of fake chicken. This is the best I've had.
No, appreciate really that. It's proprietary for us, and that's one of the reasons we really are taking this initiative to scale out as quickly as we are.
Really?
Lucas, do your customers get fooled by the name? I would assume pulling up to your place that Project Pollo meant it was chicken.
Yeah, and so we did that strategically because we wanted to engage with the guests, and we explain at the counter, this is 100% plant-based. We have people that are reluctant that want to step back and say, oh, no, it's not for me. That's our interaction with them to say, let us give you a sample. Let us buy your first meal. It's on us. If you don't like it, no problem.
Okay, Lucas, look, the
wow. Okay, let's talk about that. Let's break that strategy down. I like it. Your first meal's on us. We're gonna get you into it. Yeah, as Barbara pointed out, the name, it's okay. I don't think the word project doesn't really convey the food aspect of it, but I get it from the point of, like this is a project. It's an education, right? It's an educational sticking point, trying to make sure that you get people, to be educated in the idea that there's other types of alternatives out there. And I would be open to trying it if it was in the area, assuming it's actually healthy. Now, I'm sure somebody in the comments is going to point out like, oh, well, it's still fried, so it's not really that much healthier or something to that effect. It is like fast food. And I'm also curious about the milkshake, if the milkshake's actual milk or is it like some other type of alternative, lactose free alternative for the milkshake. Again, it looks great. Would love to try it. But wow, yeah, the Project Pollo is it definitely I think it's definitely a gamble. Like in terms of like, we're going to get people in that don't know what they're getting into. And then we're going to like, explain to them when they're there. it's a gamble because people have to. The whole re-education process is difficult.
Okay, I got it. 50 million valuation. Lucas, honey, sweetie, poopsie, let's get right to it. You must have a ton of sales.
Yeah, so I really thought that there was a void in the market for someone to really take some initiative and go on a national level, positioning themselves to put plant-based foods out there.
Is there a number coming soon?
There is. Let me tell you this little backstory here. And
the number gets smaller the later it comes.
So typical stuff, credit cards. Take every bit of savings out of the family's account. My wife never knew about it. Dumped it all. Bought a food truck. Response was great. That was September 18th last year. And then opened another location December, January,
Are these
February.
trucks or locations?
These are all physical brick and mortar locations now.
Corporate owned. You got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have our 11th and 12th locations opening next week. Right now, if we stopped current progress with these opening stores, we'd be doing just roughly shy of 10 million.
Let's talk about what you've done year to date.
That's a lot of not chicken. that's. I mean, look, at 11 locations, and in like a year. I mean, the rapid. He must have a background. Like, Lucas, you got a background in this. There's no way that you have figured this out on your own, or you have some very savvy food investors that have helped pilot the whole ship, right? You don't grow that fast like that. So, they do 10 million in revenue. I don't know. I still feel like the valuation's a bit rich, especially for a shark to want to come in at $2.5 million. I feel like if you get 2 sharks or 3 sharks, you're giving up at least 5% each for that 2.5 million. So valuation's most likely going to be coming down here, unless Mark is like, I'm on board, let's go, give me 10%. I'll give you 2.75 or 3 million to sweeten the deal a little bit, and then we roll.
To date, we're shy of 3 million. That's going through the end of August. We're shy. Forward looking, we should be hitting 6.
And
Maybe
that 3 million is how many stores?
that's off of 8 stores.
Wait, you opened up all these stores in 1 year. I've never heard of such a thing.
How did you do that so fast?
Yeah, so I don't want to drag this on for the next 5 years, wondering if my concept has validity, if it has scalability. So originally made the decision, like, we're going as fast as we possibly can. So
but you didn't have proof of concept, so you needed a lot of money, you needed a lot of manpower, and it's taking an enormous risk all at once.
100%.
Where did you get all the other money? Obviously,
Yeah,
it's
so
not just for your
let me walk you
massive-
through the money. So bootstrapped out of my pocket to start off with.
So how much money did you put into it?
That was the food truck, right?
That was the food truck, our first location in Austin. All in, I put about roughly ballpark about 60,000 up front, obviously not paying myself or anything, and then maxing out cards, different things of the sort to get us to that Austin location. Got it open. Obviously, Austin, Texas is a very receptive market for plant-based, exceptionally well, right off the bat.
What were your sales?
So at first in Austin, we were doing only about $10,000 a week. Over about a 90-day period, that got up to about $23,000 a week, and it became a really, really good store for us because that store is about 27% profit margin. As we continue to scale, going into next year, I have out 18 additional locations we're going to be opening, but we have the foundation to do 24.
It seems to me, I'm sorry to be doubtful,
Oh.
and I'm an optimist,
Yeah.
but it seems way, way too spectacular for me.
I'm confused as to how
How could that
so
be?
fast. Like figuring out where these locations would be, getting some type of real estate deal, onboarding a team, and then for your locations in other cities, like what?
And building it out. Like even
And not
to
having
build out the
total
space.
chaos, which comes with
Total
extreme
chaos.
growth.
I thrive in chaos. I'm an
Okay, so before he drives in chaos, Lucas, you're driving in chaos. I love it. I'm gonna rewind it a second here, but look, I wonder if the closure, if the pandemic played a part in this, in like opening up opportunities that weren't going to be there because they didn't survive, right? The pandemic. So I wonder how much that played a role in it. Barbara talks about being the optimist, but I was going to say, like, I thought she was going to say, wow, there is just no way that this is going so well that I there's no way I could invest in this. There's just no way. And look, when you build out something, like I've done I've built that model in the past, and actually still working on some clients and working towards that model now. You fail fast, right? And good on Lucas for figuring out, all right, we're going to just go as hard as we possibly can because we know I know I have a really great product, and it's either going to sink or swim. And but he's still, how could you not have a background in this? You have to somehow. He worked at one of the fast food chains or something at some point in his life to be able to figure out that. That's one of the things I love about my co-host for the Business Geeks podcast. Shout out to the Business Geeks podcast, which actually shows here every other Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern time. Anyway, Sam, she worked in McDonald's at a young age. I want to say like 16 years old, dropped out of high school and started working at McDonald's, and she stayed late every day, and she learned from her manager and would get like all this business knowledge that she wouldn't have had otherwise. And she took that and ran with it and built a couple of multi-million-dollar businesses over the course of her lifetime. So it's very much there's so much you can learn. I know when I was doing work over in HopeWorks in Camden, one of the internships they offered was to work at ShopRite, which is a local supermarket store. And some of the feedback would be like, well, what do we, we're getting paid money for that internship, but what are we really learning? I'm like, you're learning so much. There's so much about operations, even just taking in everything that's going on around you to make that store operate. There's so much to learn if you're actually willing to stop and just take it all in all at once.
Total chaos, which comes with
Total
extreme
chaos.
growth.
I thrive in chaos. I'm an operator.
I'm just curious, what is your debt to have done all of that so fast?
How much
Debt.
money
We
did
have
you raise?
$0 in debt.
Yeah,
You
how
have
much did you
zero
raise?
debt?
Yeah, so I raised $1.75 million back in June at a $17.5 million valuation off a single investor. That capital can take us up through the end of next year. Back to your question when you asked, like, how is it done? COVID obviously was devastating for a lot of people. You had a lot of nationals that liquidated. I thought of it as an opportunity to go in and get those leases.
You were getting a great rate.
We got great rates. I signed 10-year deals.
Wow.
Of course you did.
That
What's
is
your-
wow. That takes some courage, to put it nicely. 10-year deals when you don't know. Wow. He's the real deal, man. Lucas, you are the real deal, man.
Background. I mean, you are like,
background's
savant-like with
QSR.
all of this.
So I grew up super low income family. My dad was a bus driver, and my mom, she was a cook at our elementary. I got made fun of my whole life for my mom being our elementary cook. And so I wanted nothing to do with the restaurant business. College came around, needed money, became a delivery driver at a Pizza Hut. And my personality and my drive, I moved up really quick, and through all the positions, supervisor, managers, etc. I caught myself in a great divide because I wanted to continue, but I just recently turned vegetarian at that time. And I had an opportunity to go work for a regional company out of San Antonio that was plant-based, and they were wanting to scale. Quickly in our scale, we went from one location, increased sales by 7 within 6 months, opened up 3 additional locations.
So this enormously lightning speed of growth is not new to you. You've been doing this
It's not new, but it's the interesting part of, like I said earlier, I want to find out real quick validity and scalability.
Lucas, let me
Yes, and look, that is a wonderful story, Lucas. I can't wait to hear from you in the comments so we can get you on the show for an interview. But yeah, it's exactly what I just got done saying. He had to have the background. There's no way you're going to pull this off to that speed in which he has done it without having that background in that industry to know what works, what doesn't work, and then just kind of cherry pick the best pieces of the places around you and make it happen. So, good on Lucas for being able to take the pieces of the puzzle and put it together for himself in a really cool concept way and find out that hey, this works.
take a stab at it, okay? I'm a pragmatic investor, financial balance sheet guy.
Sure.
I'm very impressed with your executional skills. I believe you. This rush to open units is quite impressive. But you're asking me to pay you a valuation as if you've already achieved a 10 million run rate I'm choking on it, not the chicken. I'm choking on the valuation.
Oh, no.
Me to pay you a valuation as if you've already achieved a 10 million run rate. I'm choking on it, not the chicken. I'm choking on the valuation. I'm having a real hard time with it.
Yeah,
I got to give you $2.5 million,
on
which is a serious chunk of change. I get basically nothing. I get a tip in equity, and as you finance, if it's not going to be debt equity, I get diluted further down. I feel like I'm getting deep fried. Like it's just, it's brutal. I can't go there. I'm out.
Wow, I could have swore he was gonna. That's why I said the word debt, because I could have swore he'd been like, "All right, look, I don't usually like to give out this much money. I'm Mr. Wonderful. I want to see big return. I'll give you the 2.5 million in debt, and I'll take my 2% tip, and I want 10 cents on a well, I would say a burger, but a chicken sandwich. Like, I'm surprised. It's probably just because 2.5 million is a lot of money to make a commitment.
Let me jump in as well. What you've accomplished is great, but I've got two problems. One, plant-based does not mean healthy.
Sure.
There's nothing healthy about what you're
Absolutely
doing,
not.
right? And to me, that's going to fall off trend very quickly. I think over the next 2 to 3 years, it's going to go the opposite direction, where plant-based and healthy have to go together. That's a challenge in my mind. That plus the valuation, I'm out.
Okay. Well, he's going to have his rebuttal, but I don't necessarily disagree with Mark on that. But if you're already in the space, offering that alternative right there on the spot, if you already have a great tasting product, there you go. Why not?
I respect that. And I understand the healthy aspect of that. Our concept is built around accessibility and affordability for the average
How
American.
much does it cost? I don't
Average
think
item?
we know what a chicken sandwich costs.
Our average menu item is $6.50.
I'm going to say, man, it's so fast. It's
Sure.
like I got the truck. After I got the truck, we did this. I thrive in chaos, and that's how I succeed. And now we're here. I think it's too much of a risk, especially for what your ask is for me. So for that reason, I'm out.
Is there a number that makes more sense to you that may not be such a high valuation that you're more comfortable making that, investment in? Listen, I'm here to make a deal with a partner. I'm not here for commercial. I'm not here for the prime time. I'm here looking for a real
let me clear
partner.
the field here.
Hold on a second. Before Barbara clears the field, unfortunately, having a shark is powerful for him. To get not only to be able, come on, how great would it be to have Kevin Hart in the commercial for Project Pollo, right? Like, how cool would that be? Now, but the $6.50 for a chicken sandwich, Popeyes last I was at, I think was $4.99 for a sandwich. It used to be $3.99. I believe it's $4.99 now, at least here in the Philly area. So it's $1.50 more. Is it necessarily healthier? It's still a fried product, so I guess not. But I still buck against what Mark said, because you're already in the space. You're owning. You could potentially be the next, Chick-fil-A, Popeyes, chicken sandwich kind of situation here, and you can, iterate on a healthier version of it.
You remind me of the business called Tom and She probably 7 years ago. They came into Shark Tank. Great guys, great operation. They had 2 stores when they came in here, a truck and a store in St. Louis. Within 2 years, they had 35. Within 4 years, they lost everything.
They're bankrupt.
They not only lost their business, they lost both houses.
How much
It's the
debt did
saddest
that
thing to be
company
part of.
assume?
I'm not suggesting that to you, but they were too darn fast.
So fast.
And all my buttons are going up. Okay, so the idea that you're building a business so that you could be worth a lot, and the idea that you're moving so fast, it's like the farthest thing that I could ever feel comfortable with and even go to bed at night and sleep. I wouldn't be able to do. So for those reasons, about it.
I appreciate that.
Okay.
I really
Wow. So I honestly didn't know that about Tom and Chi. That's terrible to hear. There's something about not exclusivity necessarily, but limited availability and creating. It's better. Sometimes it's better to have a line out in the door than to and to have people like wanting for more, right? Leaving them wanting for more than just being able to like scale super fast and make, because you know, you get to a point where it's like you have so many rents and so like lease payments and employees and things, you know, start to break that. Like when you're small, you can kind of put money away for that stuff, but when you're just scale, you're constantly reinvesting. And the hope is that you're able to get to that, like a plateau of money that enables you to have enough money for like when those milkshake machines break, right? Like we all know about McDonald's and their ice cream machines. So, you know, you have to be able to like more locations, more problems, and going from one location to two locations is tough. Getting a third and a fourth can be even tougher, and to own all of them and to make sure that you're having the quality that's going out it can start to get away from you very quickly. And that's why, you know, franchising it, and they haven't even talked about that, might be the way to go, because at least then you have an owner there. One of the toughest franchises to own is a Chick-fil-A, because you actually have to work inside of that Chick-fil-A as a working owner. You can't just buy up, you know, a bunch of license agreements, and Chick-fil-A also just tells you where it's going to be. You don't pick the location. So I just feel like it's Barber's not necessarily far off there because of the issues that come with scaling, especially when having the investment money really goes a long way, because you can hire people and put people in place to help. You know, that's how you end up with all these middle managers and things like that. It can help, but you know, you still have to find the right people to make everything go. And at $2.5 million, even at 10%, which cuts it in half, really puts a damper on the ability to, you know, get that somewhat even remotely quick return.
And you know, I think on the one hand, I understand where your mind is going. It's like, look what I did. I was smart. I was scrappy. I went into real estate where no one else had it, so I got tenured, locked in, great rates. But you're like a tornado, right? So you don't know what's going to happen when that touches down, because you want to keep going. The cyclone's still going, and that's scary to me. And your valuation's astronomically high. I'm out.
He also, but you know, it's not like he's never had a job in fast food and the service industry and all that. Like, it's not like he doesn't have the experience himself to go and get it and make it happen. He does. So even though, like, oh, you know, you're going too fast, it almost is like, I don't know. I think it's more about the valuation than anything, unless there's a lot cut out here.
And again, I'm looking for a partnership here.
2.5 million, too much.
Make me a deal.
Yeah, it's like too much. I mean, if you come in here for 500,000, might have worked, but not this. I'm sorry, Lucas. Thank you.
Appreciate everyone.
We're sorry.
Thank you for sharing it. Seeing you soon. Thank you guys. See you guys.
Bye.
The Sharks gave me a lot of it was to slow down. I'm not taking the advice to slow down. Lori compared me to a cyclone. I'm from Kansas. Tornadoes are in our backyard every day. We're going to explode, and we're going to continue this pattern and go all across the United States, opening up Project Pollos.
I love it, and I would love to see you come on this show and talk about your Shark Tank experience, Lucas. Bring the tornado here. We've been getting tornado watches here in South Jersey, so it makes sense. Bring the tornado here. All right, so here's their website. Looks phenomenal. Over 1 million chickens saved. That's pretty awesome. The food looks really good. Where can I go? I probably can't get it anywhere. It's all in. Wow, they're like all in Texas. So, which is, wow, there you go. Boulder, Colorado, Las Vegas, Nevada, coming in September later this year, and in Arizona. So maybe if there's a chance I might be in Texas at some point, like in Dallas, Fort Worth area. So Dallas, Greenville probably isn't too far from there. So I will, if I do get out there, I will absolutely. You can't order it online. Oh, you can order online, but probably not to be delivered across the country. All right, we got social media. So we got Facebook. We got 14,000 people liking the page. Quite a bit of engagement going there. Great to see. And we got 42,000 people over on Instagram. Look at that. Almost 2,000 likes on his Shark Tank picture. Very good. Very awesome. Lucas, please, I would love to have you. Just drop a comment down below. Like Modern Hippie over here says, thanks for all your videos. Always watching your Shark Tank videos on my lunch break. Addictive, these Shark Tanks one. Yes, I've tried to make this channel as addictive as possible and as educational as possible in the process, because I don't want to create something that's just junk content and kind of filler. So anyway, with that said, I'll see you in one of these two videos over here. Take care and go be super.